vast majority of our clients have a very long-term investment horizon, and we feel that we can service them best if we think along the same timelines. Second of all, and I think that's also very important, we're an employee-owned firm, so we can invest side by side with our clients, which is one thing, but more importantly, I think for this perspective, it allows us to invest in our business counter-cyclically. So if the market has its eventual speed bump, which it will get at some point, it allows us to come out stronger on the other side. From a risk perspective, we understand that there's no return without risk. And in Neuberger, we're an active manager, and at times excess returns can be particularly lumpy. The best opportunities sometimes are created around turning points in the market, and we are comfortable with that as long as we know that that risk was intentional, it's well understood, and then within guidelines of the strategy. Whether you're talking about boards of trustees, staff at asset owners, or asset managers, I think it's key in all levels of the investment chain that there's a constant dialogue about risk and return and objectives and constraints. If you think about an asset manager, we can service our clients much better if we understand in what environment they operate, what constraints they deal with, what regulatory pressures and what their objectives are long term. For our asset owners, I think it is vital to understand what exactly they're getting into with asset managers. So they understand when the strategy is likely to do particularly well, and what are environments that are more difficult for a strategy. And that makes it easier for them to determine how it works with their overall book, and also remain confident in their strategies when a strategy hits the proverbial roadblock, which eventually happens to most active strategies, but just could be a result of the market environment it's operating in at the time. I think any forum where asset owners and asset managers can come together and think about long-term risk is particularly helpful. There's a ton of tools available to think for us about whether it's performance or risk on a short-term term. There's not quite as much available for the longer term. And so having a group of people and peers to think about these challenges, what that means for our business and how we can best develop tools or think about these metrics, I think is particularly helpful.